Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dennis and welcome back to One Year 365. We are currently in a streak of discussing about construction or any sorts of man-made stone structure that happen throughout the course of time, right? And we already covered about Stonehenge, and then we already covered about Moai as well. And today we will talk about Zid Pyramid. This one is quite recent, and this is quite interesting as well. I kind of mentioned this in the Stonehenge one, but I was kind of mistaken because I thought it was the one that placed every 1,000 years, but not. It actually is the one that will only be placed every 10 years. So yeah, it's quite difficult to find this article. I have to, search for specific um, keywords because I don't know that it's called Z pyramid, right? I just googled the um, I guess like stone blocks placed every 1,000 years, right? And did I couldn't found any because that's first the mistakes, right? Which is every 1,000 years, and the fact that it's only placed every 10 years, not 1,000 years. So maybe the Google search probably got confused as to what I was trying to find, right? But yeah, finally I found this one. It's quite interesting, but yeah, we'll actually talk about this one. Um, so the Z pyramid, or translated as time pyramid, is a work of public art by Manfred Leiber under construction in Wemding, Germany. Okay, so we have the Stonehenge in England, and then we have the Moai in the Easter Island, and then we have the Z pyramid in the Germany. Okay, that's interesting. The pyramid began in 1993 at the 1200th anniversary of Wemding. Will take another 1161 years, 1161 years to complete, and is scheduled to be finished in the year 3183. In 2022, the project is scheduled to be 2.5% complete, with the first three of its 120 concrete blocks scheduled to have been placed. So yeah, there you go. Every 10 years it will require another 1161 years, and it will complete in 3183. That's already more than 1,000 years from now, basically, right? Yeah, like 11,000 years from now. But yeah, I mean 1100. Anyway, 120 concrete blocks, and let's actually take a look at this one. Z pyramid. The pyramid after the third block was laid in 2013. View looking west with the church Maria Bernlein in the background. Oh, is it this one? Oh, that's very tiny. That's what she said. But yeah, so the next block will be placed in 2023. Then that's actually next year. Okay, that's quite interesting. I guess this will make a trending for a short period of time, I guess. The placement of the fourth block, it's always something, right? Because for now there's only 3 out of 120, right? So yeah, probably like a human, with lifespan of 70 years, 80 years, they can only see 8 blocks, right? And then the next person already see 8, and then they also add another 8, that's only 16, and the entirety will require 120. So that's, I don't know, that's how many generations, right? Hundreds of generations probably, right? So yeah, not really hundreds, but more like let's say 70, 80, I guess. Like if you have kids at 30, then it's basically every 30 years there will be a new generations, right? So that will be 1,000 years divided by 30. Yeah, that's actually hundreds of generations actually. But yeah, anyway, what is it? The pyramid after the third block, okay, built and maintained by a dedicated association and unknown future collaborators. Yeah, because the fact that the people that is in the association, like right now, they will probably die in 2100, right? Like the rest of us will probably die in 2100, right? Like not saying in a bad way, but more like realistically speaking, right? By 2100, people that now existed probably already be dead by then. But yeah, um, built and maintained by, yeah, because of that, like because this takes centuries, right? Like 1,000 years, so it will require collaborators from the future as well. Like maybe 15 years from now, people will like roles, right? Like it will get estafette, or it will get transferred into some other associations as well, or collaborators to finish the thing, right? And then that those people will also then transfer this into some groups as well in the far future, and then they will, the cycle continues until 1,000 years have passed, basically, right? Although specifically 1,161 years, but yeah, that's a long time, right? Maybe like they will require, let's say, 200 collaborators probably, right? Every 50 years, who knows? But yeah, coordinates will be there, which is in Germany, right? Constructed 1993 to 3183. That's almost 1200 years. That's the schedule, right? Type step pyramid, material concrete, height 9.2 meters, base 15 meters. So this one is basically the height is only 9, but the base is actually 15 meters. Okay, so that's actually quite big difference. So it is a wide boy, then it's a short thing, right? Like it's not tall because of the ratio between the height and the base, I guess. Slope at 43 degrees, I don't know what that means, but yeah. The pyramid over here, the pyramid will be in prominence on a small rise of the Bavarian lowlands. Concept dates back to the year 793 and celebrated its 1200th anniversary in 1993. Okay, so it's the town, right, in Germany, which is the Wemding town. It was since 793, and then it celebrated the 1200 by making this pyramid, right? Because yeah, like 1200. So they basically think that oh, we already existed for 1200 years. Let's make it another 1200 years, right? So yeah, maybe that's what they think at that time. So they make this. Zit Pyramid was conceived by Manfred Leiber, local artist, in June 1993 to mark this 1200 year period and to give people a sense of what the span of 1200 years really means. One block is scheduled to be placed every 10 years, taking 1190 years in total. The material of the blocks used is not fixed and may be altered in future generations depending on availability. Also, I was about to ask about what about the materials that are planted right now? Will not they actually, degrade and, like basically, eroded, getting corroded as well, and then that they will get weaker and probably fragile? How would they maintain this thing from, like weather, climates, all sorts of stuff? Let alone there is probably also people that vandalize these things, like without being seen, right? So it's quite interesting. Maybe they will explain, maybe they don't. Like I just saying that because I was, I have engineering backgrounds, right? So I kind of know about how to maintain this kind of stuff, right? Like what method they will use, how they will maintain this. Will they actually, like replace the thing? Maybe if, some materials are, already damaged, probably they will like just entirely scrap out, what's broken and replace with a new stuff. Probably, right? That's like the most probably, like that's probably the easiest thing, right? Just to remove the entire thing and then re-put the thing again. But yeah, artist Manfred Leiber was born in Wemding. Okay, so it's a local, and studied painting at the Hochschule. Okay, in Berlin in the 1950s. He has other artwork on permanent display on the Isla San Antonio. Okay, Alcan is also his part. Okay, so this is his other what is it, like arts, right? But yeah, the thing about this is that you also need engineer though, like how you will design this, right? How like the composition of the concrete, the strength material, like how to maintain as well, how to make things that are that will withstand throughout the years, right? Like centuries, millenniums in this case, because it's more than 1,000 year. But yeah, Construction. Okay, so this is the map, I guess. 2013 installation, 2003, and 1993. Okay, so there's only three of these. Um, and this is the side view. Okay, so they just topple this on top of each other, right? Okay, that's interesting. Because like basically this is not like pyramid, right? Where you can have like a hollow inside, where this one stone over here will be held by these two stone over here, but that's not the case here. They just put this on top of each other, right, towards the center of the pyramid, which is alright, I guess. It's a new art, right? A new concept, which is always nice. Current progress: the pyramid as far as it is today is a concrete pad on the rounded hilltop, the northern edge of Wemting. The first block was placed in October 1993. Third and most recent block was placed on June. Okay, so it was not always the same month, right? But all right, it will the next one will be 2023. Yeah, like this one, right? The fourth block. I believe this one will be a little bit of trending, I would say, for a short period of time, just like any other trend. But it will be interesting to see this in 2023. Actually, remind me when this actually happened in 2023 as well, so that we can, basically rediscuss about this again, right? And maybe see the pictures that are that will be used in the next year, right? Um, so yeah, the project's initial financing was mostly achieved throughout donations by local companies, which, for example, supplied the materials for concrete slab for free. The project is administered by a foundation based in Wemting. Oh, that's also interesting, because I thought that because this was a part of the Wemting town, I thought that the town mayor will actually allocate, like like the president would actually allocate this kind of stuff to support, but apparently it's not mentioned over here. Like mostly only achieved by donations, right? So like where is the government here, right? Will not they want this to be a part of history as well? Like yeah, like basically the case, right? Would it be actually a little bit more easier if the government actually takes part into the schedule, and to basically just managing this stuff, right? So that it can be assured that it will actually be finished in the future, right? So yeah, I think like I don't know what happened with the government. Maybe they disagree with this. Maybe they don't like this kind of stuff. I don't know, right? But if I was the group or the association that actually make this kind of art, I would probably make a proposal to the government as well to help with the funds, right? Because this can also be some kind of heritage. Like imagine 1,000 years from now, and then you will have this kind of stuff, right? But the fact that you didn't contribute anything, it'll be ashamed, right? So yeah, I think it'll be a great idea if the government actually put some financial here as well, and not only relying on donations by companies or like the foundation as well, right? But yeah, speculative future progress. A model of the final artwork is exhibited at Wemting at the okay. It is unknown if or how the project would be continued if the administrative foundation stopped existing. Assuming the project proceeded according to plan, it would naturally fall into stages by tier, right? Yeah, like I said as well. It will basically be like estafette, like transferred into other groups that will actually, what is it like? That will actually take control of this, right? Like, yeah, base tier, the plant base layer measuring 13.8 by 13.8 meter consists of 64 blocks arranged in 8 rows and 8 columns. Okay. Okay, the plant second layer consists of 36 blocks in a 6 by 6 format with a presumptive states completion date of 2983. So that's still 900, almost 1,000 years from now, actually. But yeah, this is the first layer that requires a block be placed atop another block, which would require a crane or some form of scaffolding, such as an earthen ram used as an incline. But you also have to be aware that the blocks that will be the base, it's probably already getting corroded, right? Like degraded, and like basically fragile, damaged, whatnot, right? And probably you want to make a new one, right? Like replace the old one and then make a new one and then put that at the top of the new one, right? But yeah, third tier, the planned third layer will consist of 16 blocks arranged in 4 by 4 with a presumptive stage completion date 3143. So that's the end, right? Oh no, actually, this one, the fourth tier, the planned final fourth layer consists of 4 blocks arranged in 2 by 2 upon completion of which the structure will be finished, having taken just shy of a decade less time to build than Wimting had been in existence at the time the first block was laid. Yeah, because you only put 4 blocks, it will require only 40 years, right? So, um, if you lived at the time, then you will probably witness the finishing, right? You already see the first layer, second layer, third layer, then you're just basically witnessing the finishing, and you can actually do that because it only requires 40 years, right? So yeah, if you're like a teenager, then you'll be old, right, by the finishing of it, which in itself will be in its own satisfaction, right? Witnessing this kind of stuff eventually coming to an end, right? Completion, the pyramid, when completed in year 3183, is scheduled to consist of 120 stone or concrete blocks. It's measuring, okay. Adjacent blocks are separated by gaps of half a block or zero point 0.6 meters. Okay, so that's only half a meter, so you can technically just walk in between those stones, but for safety reason, probably you are not allowed to. I don't think so, but yeah. Oh, that's about it, I guess. That's quite short one. That's also what she said, but yeah. So far, this is one. This is probably the recent one, the most recent one, that has the plans to do, right? So it doesn't really have any purpose. It's just to celebrate the 1200th anniversary of the town Wemding in Germany, but it's also as a symbolic as like I think it's mentioned over here, right? The reason why it is just to show how like yeah, this one, a span of 1200 years really means, right? So like maybe you can tell to your grandchildren like back in this day we only have this block over here, this one block witnessed these sorts of events that happening in my time. And like basically it's a story to be told towards the next generations, right? And yeah, I think that's also the purpose of this, the fact that you cannot do this thing by yourself, you will need the next generations as well, so that all these sorts of thing will be like estafettes, right? Although we're not sure if the year will exist until 3000, who knows, right? Maybe it will, maybe it won't, maybe there are already apocalyptic events, but yeah, that's besides the point, right? The point is that this is as a symbol as how time really valuable, right? Like like to the world, to the people in Wemding itself, they probably also not like they can't really believe that it's already 1200 years, right? Like let's say we live in 2022, we also cannot believe, right, that someone actually started the calendar, the year system starting from zero, and it's already 2000 years, right? So everything is possible basically. Like if you live in the year 1 to 10, like literally the year 3, let's say like one digit year, then you will probably be like also pessimist, right? Like there is no way we will reach 1,000 years, there's no way we'll reach 2,000 years, let alone like more than 2,000 years. But the thing is that we exist now in year 2022, and like basically I guess we can also kind of think about that the same as the next 1,000 year as well, right? Like uh, the people in the year 3000 will be real actually, right? If you think about it, and then they'll also probably think that, oh, like people back in 2000, they don't actually believe that we will exist, but here we are now, we exist, the same as us saying that towards the people that actually started the calendar or live around the year zero, right? But yeah, interesting discussion, interesting art, object, structure, what you want to call that. man-made stone structure, I guess you can categorize that as that. But yeah, I think that'll be it for today's discussion about Z pyramid or time pyramid. Until then, I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion. Stay safe, healthy. I will see you very soon, and I will see you again in 1161 years for this Z pyramid to finish. Maybe if people in the future still watch YouTube and maybe they found this channel or this video specifically talking about this, and then we only have three blocks, and then they watch it as they are about to finish the whole thing with the 120 concretes, right? But yeah, that'll be insane. But yeah, anyway, see ya.